All right, so new project time, new goals, new year, new all of that. So let's talk about what I'm up to. First things first, I've got a biking goal for this year that I'm pretty excited about, and that's going to take me a fair bit of work to get ready for and to get myself suited up for. And I haven't had a riding goal like this in a really long time. I tend to shy away from large formalized riding things, mostly because there's other people there and me and other people. So anyway, first things first, this new ride that I'm looking at doing happens in the New England area. It's called D2R2. It doesn't call itself a gravel ride, but it's kind of a gravel ride in that it's on a little bit of paved roads, but a lot of dirt roads and a lot of farm roads and a lot of like tracks. So not trails, but unpaved secondary road type of things. And anyway, D2R2 happens in August of this year. Mid-August, so goal, got time to get ready for that. The full banana is 180K, which is more than I am ready to commit to. That's a very long, also 180K, which I realize mileage-wise, that's not like an absurd number, but it's worth noting. I think it's got between 10 and 13,000 feet of climbing, which is, a lot. I don't know if you all know that we've got hills in Massachusetts, but we do. And you can stack enough together to really hurt yourself. So anyway, yeah, I'm not going to do the full banana. They also have other variations. One of those other variations is a 100K option. So metric century, 62.5 miles or whatever it is. And I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's the jam for me. They have some other weird ones. Like there's like 110 and 115 Ks, and I don't know. 100 seems about right for my first time through this. It looks like it still takes people on the order of 8 hours. I've been checking some of the GPS from previous years and that sort of thing. It still has, I think, like 7,000 or 8,000 feet of climbing, so it's a substantial amount. And it's still overwhelmingly dirt. Also, all those rides out there with this entire organization, none of them are marked on the roads. There's no signs. So everything is old school, like cue sheet, or I guess now they do some GPS routing. Me not having a GPS computer might become an issue. I might have to change that and deal with that. Anyway, so break down the goal here. Goal is D2R2 100K option in mid-August, which is pretty exciting. I'm pretty stoked about it. Things that I need to consider in getting ready for this particular thing. So we've got two sort of categories, right? We've got me and we've got gear. Gear-wise, state of the nation is bike is pretty much there. There's currently a tiny bit of conflict between the tires that are on it and the fenders that are on the bike. I need the fenders right now for training because the weather is going to be crappy. We're in mid-January, so the weather is going to be crap for the next couple of months. And if I get any chances to get out onto the road or dirt at all, I'm going to need the fenders on there to keep the bike from getting just trashed, and myself for that matter. So I'll either have to modify the tires, and by modify I just mean change, or readjust fenders a little bit more. We'll have to see. But anyway, it's that close. That's it. That's all it really needs right now for training purposes. It's got, I've had to do a bunch of work on it. It's got new stem, new handlebars, new handlebar tape, new gearing, new rear derailleur, and new wheels. So it's a lot of new bike on there. D2R2 recommends having at least a 1-to-1 bailout gear on the low end, and they're very, very emphatic about this in their literature. So I had to get rid of my 28 on the back. That was my previous low gear because I have a 32 tooth on the front. So anyway, I found an 1132 to go on the back, and then that required a new rear derailleur, so I had to get a new rear derailleur. Whatever, no one cares. So the bike is basically there. I'd love to get some new tires for the thing. Panaracer has announced that they're doing a Gravel King SK tubeless ready in a 26 by 2.1, and but no one sells it right now. I can't get them. So I'm hanging on to get a pair of those. That would be like an ideal tire for that bike, for me, and for this trip. So that would be awesome. And my new wheels are tubeless ready. I'll do a whole breakdown of the bike later. The second larger part of this is me and where I am at fitness-wise. I've got some fitness work to do. 62 miles is a meaningful amount of riding, particularly with that amount of climbing in it. So I need to get in shape for that. There's sort of three things there. One is the mileage. I'm not overly worried about that. That might be bravado right now, but I've ridden that sort of distance a million times in my life. So I'm not intimidated by the distance, but I know I need to train for it. Second part is the number of hours in the saddle to do that. Looking at other people's data on it, people are running sort of kind of 8 hours end to end for that. So I need to get some time in the saddle just to get myself able to sit on a bike for that sort of length of time. That's much longer than my standard ride. And then the third thing, and the most worrying, is the vertical feet of climbing. I need to build up a climbing base. I'm gonna have low bailout gears, and it's not a timed event, it's not a race, and I'm not worried about it, but I do really want to be successful. So I need to spend some time getting ready to climb a lot. There's some very steep grades. There's stuff into the 20% range on this, on unpaved surfaces, that's sort of protracted, like several miles worth of it. So I need to build up a climbing base. And then the other part of that is going to be is sort of a crossover between me and gear, which is navigation. It's a very long cue sheet, and I don't know that it's going to be practically even if I was to run with an old school cue sheet and map, I'm still going to need an odometer on the bike to be able to track my distances between the checkpoints, to sort of know where I am and where I should be. And the current bike doesn't have any of that. Completely computer devoid. All of my bikes effectively are computer devoid. That's not true. Tandem's got a computer. Weird road bike's got a computer, but they came that way. I didn't put them on it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Gravel bike has no computer. It might need one. And if I'm gonna go with a computer, I think the smart move is actually probably to get like one of the new school, like GPS enabled, I don't know, like Garmin or Wahoo or whatever, and then load a cue sheet into it and let that thing do turn by turn for me. It's weird to think about putting GPS on a bike for me, but there you go. Anyway, that's where I'm at. This is going to be a video series, I think, to break down the various segments of it, to sort of document getting the bike ready, to document getting myself ready, to document the gear that I have to get or make to have the whole thing ready, and what the right setup is going to be, to carry enough but not too much, the training, the pathfinding for the training, the navigation practice. There's going to be a lot of portions to this. As of right now, like I said, it's mid-January, so I've got 8 months to get myself ready, technology and body wise, to go do this thing. And I'm really excited, and I'm excited to take you guys along with me on it. So it should be a lot of fun. Anyway, that's where we're at. Follow along, D2R2 2020 project.